Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Python Coding Challenge series. Last week I set you all a challenge. Find the sum of the first 8 Disarium numbers greater than 10. In case you missed that video, I'll leave a link to it as usual in the top right hand corner of your screen and in the video description. Have you checked it out yet? Good. Then now let's get on with the solution. This can easily be divided into two sections. In the first part, we will write a function which we can call findDisarium, whose objective is to take a number which let's call num and return true if it is a Disarium number and false if it isn't. Then we can write a second function which will calculate the sum of the first 8 Disarium numbers. We can call this function calc sum Disarium. Now that we have structured our solution, let's write the first function. To separate each digit of the number given as the argument of our function, we can first convert the number to a string by writing str of num. Then we can separate out the digits by converting the string to a list. We can do this simply by writing list of str of num. Our third step will be to convert each of the digits we have now separated into integer numbers. To accomplish this, we can use a list comprehension and write int of n for n in list string number. Now, for those of you who don't remember how list comprehensions work, there's no need to worry. I will leave a link to my tutorial on this topic in the top right-hand corner of your screen and in the video description, so don't forget to check that out at the end of this video. Our final step, and you'll see why we're doing this in a minute, is to convert the list to a Numpy array. Again, we can use a simple command and say a equals np.array of everything we had before. So int n for n in list string number. Believe it or not, with this we have actually completed the hardest part of our solution. The next step is now quite straightforward. We can create an array of powers by writing b equals np.arange from 1 to len a plus 1. This is the Numpy equivalent of the range function, and therefore in this case creates an array of integer values from 1 to however many digits our number contains. If you'd like to learn more about the Numpy arange function, I'll leave a link to my tutorial in the box above and in the video description. The last two steps we have to do now are calculate the sum of all digits raised to their respective powers, and then see if the result is equal to the original number. To do the first step, we can write c equals sum, or to be precise, np.sum, because we're summing arrays, of a to the power of b. What this does is take each element of a and raise it to the value in the corresponding position in array b. It then calculates the sum of all resulting values and assigns it to the variable c. Finally, we can write return c double equals num. Does everyone understand this syntax? No? Well then, let me explain. What this line does is compare the value of c with respect to the original number num. If it is the same, it will return true. Else, if the two values are different, it will return false. Now that we have a function that calculates whether a number is Disarium or not, we can move on to the second function and write dis equals empty list. This is an empty list which will contain all of our Disarium numbers. Then we can employ a while loop and say n equals 10, and then while len of dis is smaller than 8, if find Disarium of n, then dis dot append n, and finally n plus equals 1. What this will do is start analyzing all numbers greater or equal to 10, and if they are Disarium, it will append them to the list which we have called dis. It will continue doing so until we have found the first 8 elements. Now that we have our list with the first 8 Disarium numbers greater than 10, all we have to do is write return sum of dis. And there you have it. If we run our code by pressing the F5 key, and then on the right hand side we write calc sum Disarium, we get that the value of the sum of the first 8 Disarium numbers greater than 10 is 6,924. For any of you who are curious, the first 8 Disarium numbers greater than 10 are 89, 135, 175, 518, 598, 1306, 1676, and finally 2427. If you calculate the sum of all these numbers, you will get our answer, which is 6,924. If you would like to try a harder challenge, see if you can find the next 2 Disarium numbers. If you do, then make sure to leave a comment below. With that, we have come to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed the challenge, and I look forward to seeing you next week. As always, make sure to leave a thumbs up, share the video, and join the Coding Specs community by subscribing to the channel. Also, don't forget to check out my previous coding challenges and Python tutorial videos. I've left a link to them for you in the top right-hand corner of your screen and in the video description. Once again, thank you all for watching, and until next time, happy coding!